Alright guys, remember, leak lists are never necessarily the truth or final, so anything said in this video can and will be subject to change. But right now, we have a fairly good leak, and the A-18E Block 2 is on it. And I wanted to make a video talking about the Super Hornet and what it would bring to War Thunder. A lot of players seem to think the Hornet is a very bad top-tier aircraft. I do understand it for the F-18C, simply because it's not the same playstyle players are used to, and if you don't like the playstyle, you're not going to like the aircraft. So that makes sense to me. The Super Hornet will fix a lot of these issues. A lot of players complain about speed. The Super Hornet is indeed a little bit faster. It also has increased range, but that's not necessarily important in War Thunder, and it will also feature an AESA radar. So the F-18E, in my opinion, on its arrival to War Thunder, should definitely feature something like the AIM-120C7, should probably feature the AIM-9X. There's really no reason Gaijin should add this aircraft with the C5s and the AIM-120As and the AIM-9M. That just doesn't make sense. That would make now 3 top-tier aircrafts that have been added that should have gotten access to either the 9X or some form of better AIM-120s. It just is not good for the game to keep getting platforms that are just going to get weapon changes in a couple of years down the line. They need to actually just add the right missiles to the right platforms now, so we don't have this issue later on. So I do think the F-18E is actually going to come in and be a very dominant platform personally. It's going to have it's going to have good, if it comes with the right weaponry, that is. If Gaijin decides to just go ahead and give it the 9M and the C5, it's not going to be very good. And that's, kind of the same truth of it in real life. The Super Hornet, it's slower than a lot of other aircraft, but it can take that edge away with much more longer range-based missiles. Yes, if we get the PL-15 and all these other leaked missiles for China and whatnot, like the PL-15 really, it's going to be coming down to, we need a AMRAAM that's actually going to perform very good at longer ranges. The C5, it's not a long-range missile. It's better at close ranges. And then the A and B, I think, are still considered very high on the best missiles, maybe behind the McXer and possibly behind the R77-1. I'm not quite for sure on that. Honestly, I just want to see an aircraft like the F-18E come in with the right weapon systems on the gate and actually perform pretty good out of the gate. I would like to see the Super Hornet be able to sit right at top tier with a very good AESA radar, one of the best radars we'd have in the game, and then also some really good weaponry. I really think that is what's going to be the biggest hindrance with the F-18E. So those of you guys who are not too familiar with what the Super Hornet really was, at least the first versions of the F-18E, the United States Navy, when the retirement of the Tomcat came, they realized they needed a fighter, that was going to be slightly more dominant, and the issue that they were having with the Hornet was it just couldn't do that. The Legacy Hornet models, they were not able to maintain their weather when they had to jettison their weapons to land. They had a bunch of issues that just made them not great in a more modern fighting zone. So with the F-18E, it got the improved engines, it got the improved radar, it got a bunch of improvements, it got less parts, it's 42% less parts, and then it's had a 40% increase in range. So that was another big thing on the Hornets themselves. So really, what it's coming down to with the F-18E is how Gaijin wants to implement the platform. They could very easily add the Super Hornet being identical to the F-18C we have already, and the difference simply be the radar. That would be really stupid, and that just doesn't make sense. Really, it already kind of annoys me that they added the F-15C Golden Eagle, with literally the only difference being the radar and the engines, if I remember correctly. It's just not fun. It's not good for the platforms. It's not good for War Thunder. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you guys think Gaijin is going to add modern air-to-air weapons? Or better air-to-air weapons, I should say. I'm very hopeful that they will, because I'm seeing a lot of aircraft on this league list, like the Jazz 39E, and I find it really hard to believe that they would add the Jazz 39E to Sweden and not give it better weapons. That just would be really, that seems counterproductive personally. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Are you guys as excited for me for Super Hornet? What do you guys think? And do you guys think it's going to, perform well. I know a lot of players just don't like the Hornet in top tier, and that's fair. I know there's a lot of players that do. I personally really do. And it's fun. It's fun to play. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Join the Discord that's linked down below in the description. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.